Okay, so what you guys see in front of you, this picture in front of you, is a column. And the reason you have a column in front of you is because we're going to talk a little bit about these. Now, we're not going to talk about these specific Greek columns that you can find in classic architecture, but I want you to see this visual so you have an idea of what I'm talking about when I show you what a column means in our mathematical terms. Okay, let's say I have 6 counters and 2 groups of 3. Those are my 2 groups of 3. What if I told you it was easier, or that another thing I could do is to put my 2 groups of 3 pointers into 2 rows? Now think of a row like how you sit in rows in class or rows of desks. My first row will have 3, just like my first group had 3, and my second row will have 3. Okay. So again, to put them in rows, we can place them in straight horizontal lines. What I want you to notice about the what I want you to notice is that we just created a rectangular array. This is an array, it's like a square. Or a rectangle in this case. Something you should notice is that there's the same number in each row. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And just like before, I have 2 arrangements of 3. Before I counted 6 in my arrangement. I can still count 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Three plus 3. It's 6. Now I want you to think about arranging them into columns, kind of like I showed you before. We had columns before in that array I just showed you, but we had rows of 3 and columns of 2, and now I want to have columns of 3. Because I have groups of 3, and I'm thinking in terms of columns. There's my first column of 3. Okay, and there's my second column of 3. So remember, columns are just groups that are arranged vertically that go up and down. It's like the it's like the rows we drew before. It's just tilted a little bit. It's instead of being sideways, it's upwards, up and down. And notice that this time, instead of having 2 rows, I have 3 rows. But my total will be the same. I'll count in 2s now. 2 plus 2 plus 2. Sorry. Equals 6. Or I can count in terms of columns. 3 plus 3 equals 6.